Today, we will continue to plan our smart home with a floor plan, this time focusing on the home office. If you are new to the channel, you may want to watch the bedroom and bathroom editions to get you up to speed with the concept. Now let's quickly touch upon some assumptions on our home office. For the sake of simplicity, we will use a rectangle-shaped room measuring 2.5 by 2 meters with a single door and a single window. We will deploy a dual monitor setup which you can connect to your desktop or laptop. We'll add printer scanner combo, home storage server, as well as home assistant server or Apple Homekit Apple TV, and place our broadband connectivity devices such as routers. I'm using floorplanner.com for this video, though you can replicate this in any other floor planning software out there. After playing around with the furniture layout, we've landed on this design that we can now export as a 3D model as well as leverage for our smart home device placement. First up, let's look at the entry points into the room. For each door and window, I highly recommend an open-close sensor. It helps both your security and your automations. Those sensors are probably the most reliable piece of smart tech you can deploy in the house. These are just some of the brands that sell these type of sensors. Additionally, you may want to look into smart door handles to manage entry into the office, especially useful if you want to keep out the kids and wandering guests. As we are installing the smart camera later on in this video, your motion sensor needs will be covered. You may look into presence sensors too, though I personally wouldn't unless you want a very granular control, of course. With this out of the way, all we need to do is to add a smart light switch or a relay unit for a regular switch, blinds roller, and maybe some accent lighting from the likes of Nanoly. Let's change the perspective now and quickly add a smart radiator valve to control temperature. If you do not have a regular radiator in the office, maybe you have a garden office like myself, then there is a video on the channel how to make an electric heater smart. Shifting the view again, and here we add our small but mighty storage server. After trying Western Digital Cloud, I'd honestly recommend to splash on Synology. Lots more control, smart features to integrate into your home assistant, and potential for surveillance station to manage your security cameras. Starting off with a 4-bay network attached storage will future-proof your solution for years to come. Just underneath the NAS, we'll drop the brains of our smart home. In my case, it will be a Raspberry Pi for Home Assistant and an Apple TV for a HomeKit server. Right above the last one, you may as well add a TV with a PlayStation 5, though you're running at risk of never leaving your office, beware. I deliberately not adding a small fridge here, as I do want you to venture out from time to time. Finally, we're adding a router. I use the Ubiquiti Dream router, which I believe is one of the best options for smaller installations, and with 4 Ethernet ports, you can hardware connect to all 4 devices mentioned earlier. To power all of this goodness, you should deploy at least 4 double sockets, as you will immediately take up 7 slots, and having at least 1 spare is critical. Camera-wise, I will go for a cheap and simple TP-Link Tapo camera, which can link into your Home Assistant and Synology for 24/7 recording. And to cap it off, adding a smart speaker for your voice control needs. Depending on your budget, there is a huge selection of options. In the final view for today, we're just adding some outlets under the table. I currently have 12 double sockets under mine, and all of them are in use, so make sure you add enough. It's always better to have a dedicated outlet versus an extension lead. We also add temperature and humidity sensor to better manage the climate in your room, whether it is hot, cold, or humid. Of course, we're adding a smart button to have some functions at our fingertips. And to wrap this all up, we're strategically placing a smart home hub with infrared capability so we can control aircon, TV, and other infrared devices across the entire room. If you're into the Aqara ecosystem, you may choose to go for the Aqara G3 camera hub and combine those devices into one. You may also add a tablet with your dashboard to complete the look. There are many automations that you can now run within this environment. Here are a few to get you started. During the office, automation is activated by the door open-close sensor and can switch on the devices in the room, mostly those under the table ones. You can also add conditions to switch on the light if it's dark outside, or push the roller blinds up if it's nice and sunny. Game time automation drives down the roller blind, switches on the TV, turns off the lights, converts Nanoly into a game mode scene, and turns off the outlets for monitors, all activated with the push of a button. Device's status notification can give you worthy information on your Synology NAS or Home Assistant service. You can write up a single notification with some templating to pull some key data points once a day or however often you'd like. Intruder alert is super simple. If the opening sensor on either window or door activates at night, sound the siren for the smart speaker. You can make this more complex by introducing specific timing patterns and interconnect camera into the mix. With some basic automation set up, this is the complete breakdown of the costs for this setup, though your mileage may vary dramatically. The sky is the limit really. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video has been useful for you. See you in the next one!